now in the cannabis industry is brand loyalty. Brand loyalty translates into brand equity, right? And brand equity is how you start to get margins. You start to charge large, you start to get high margins, right? Why does Louis Vuitton, why are they able to charge $1,000 for a belt that costs them what, $50 to make? Maybe they're making, maybe minus the tax, all that. They're making almost like $900 off of, $1,000. Like the profits are ridiculous, right? And they're able to charge that amount because of brand equity. Now, brand equity can be kind of, showcased in a number of different ways, right? That's more of like the hype, limited edition, specifically kind of engineered to be super, exclusive, right? Which is not, nothing wrong with that. But that's where brand equity comes into play. That's where it becomes valuable. And it also becomes valuable and when you're selling your company and valuations, all that stuff, right? Now, what is, at the end of the day, what is a brand, right? And then what's the other component to brand equity, right? A brand is really this. A brand is a set of ideals. It represents a feeling, a look, a perception that the world has on that brand, right? And what happens when someone decides to join your brand, right? Because okay, so the whole idea about consumerism is the basis of consumerism is actually us communicating to the world by which what we are consuming, right? I got, I bought an iPhone, what does that, communicate to the rest of the world? I have a Louis Vuitton belt on, right? I don't have. I used to buy those back in the day. Huge fucking waste of money, by the way. But why am I wearing a Louis Vuitton belt? Because I want to show the world that I've got exclusive, apparel, right? I got expensive, taste. Why am I wearing blue jeans? Because I'm trying to tell the world I'm just a normal, regular, plain Jane kind of person, right? So that's what we're talking about when we talk about brand, right? Or more so consumerism. So when I wear a cookies shirt, I'm associating with the ideals of what cookies represents, right? And that's why, clothing is typically one of the best ways to showcase what we're talking about here with consumerism and, humans making, humans communicating out to the outward world, right? So you want so to create a brand and get brand equity, right? You want to create a set of ideals or, a logo, a number of different, identifiable emblems, whatever you want to say, that culminate and represent a perception in the world that people can then take part in, if that makes sense. They can join it, right? Because, back in the day when cookies was coming out, right? People were rocking the cookies shirt because they wanted to showcase, hey, I am part of this group. I associate with smoking weed, with the Bay Area, with burnt, you know what I'm saying? That's the same idea. Now, how do you build up a large enough group to make it, very, very well? That's really the key. So brand loyalty equates into brand equity. Brand equity is a large group of people that all identify with, a set of ideals that the brand represents. And, with supply and demand, you're going to be able to make, a lot of money. Now, let's say you overexpand and you're selling too much, let's just say for clothing, you're selling too much apparel, and then it becomes, then the group becomes way too big. Well, then the, supply and demand, right? The value of the brand potentially goes down per unit, right? So that's why we have limited edition drops, right? There's limited edition because it keeps that exclusivity, but it also allows for the volume to increase. It keeps that, that's why, Cookie's done a pretty good job of doing that, as an example. But yeah, but that's how do you create your community, right? Because, just like creating, just like when you're, just as being a content creator, right? I want to culminate a community because one, we can all help each other. Two, it's a core base that's going to help support me as a content creator, and then also as let's just say for the case of a brand, it can support your brand, right? So if you have die-hard customers that almost become super fans, right? They almost become, right, unofficial brand ambassadors. And these super fans, or these like your base, right? These people that are loyal customers, they're the most important part to anything, whether you're a content creator or you own a cannabis brand, because these are people that are going to be buying everything. They're going to be showing up to all of your events. They're going to be telling people this brand's the best. This brand's the best. They're going to be actual active advocates trying to convince others to join their group, right? So they're effective on a multitude of different levels. And so that's that whole saying is don't ever forget about your base, right? It's typically, utilized in politics, right? But it's true, right? Your base, quote unquote, whether you're, like I said, a brand, person, whatever, they're going to be the most effective in helping bring in more people. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, ways to culminate the community, right? That is, can be utilized through loyalty programs, Discord, Telegram, right? You can really start to now, digitally create, that community. Okay, let's go to some comments here. Building brands makes sense, just like the video games in the 80s. Fine, that's sure. Consistently provide a fixed set of standards and build with customers' feedback on this focus standards. Do what you said. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Consistency is going to help, maintain that loyalty, and it's going to be easier to identify. So I couldn't agree more. That's a really good point. So, like I said, loyalty, building that base, that can be done through a number of different ways. Digitally, then you have events, right? For example, like if we look at like what Berner, just announced, right? He's doing the 11/11 like smokers club. This is a great example, actually, just right off the top of my head, pops in my head. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. Is he's not forgetting about his base, and he's being, and then here, we'll pull it up, right? We'll pull it up so it makes sense to everyone. Okay, so 11/11. So 11/11. That's his mom's birthday as well as it's my birthday as well. We both share the same birthday, me and his mom. But here, 11/11 Supper Club. So taste new genetics from our in-house facilities and our favorite breeders with Berner at his California compound. Enjoy heady meal pairings from our favorite chefs. For your chance to be selected to join the 11/11 Supper Club, submit video to 1111supperclub.com. There's only 30 membership. Only 30 membership will be made available annually. So this is really smart. I mean, this is like just popped up, right? This literally just popped up today. Right? I saw it. But this is another example of how do we cultivate our community to, share experiences together. Because these 30 people that are going to be going and, going to, the 11/11 Supper Club, they're going to be active. They're going to be spreading the word. They're going to be advocates for the new genetics that are coming in through the Cookies brand, right? And it's smart, dude. This is a really smart play. Okay. Anyway, that's not working. But here's a good example. I mean, it's just it's smart. It's super smart. Now let's just read this real quick. We want to receive 600 applications in 2 hours for the 1111 Supper Club membership. Can't wait to look through these. For those that may be concerned about the price or not being accepted, the first round of membership in 2024. One, this isn't for everyone. Right, so he's creating that fear of missing out, that FOMO. It's an extremely private and next level experience for a very limited amount of people. 2, we just held a free event similar to this in LA where people were able to join us and try new females that are in February. And we'll continue to hold similar events around the country, right? Which is smart, right? He's got this, but this group right here, the 1111 Supper Club, is going to be, this is like, hard on a multitude of different levels, right? But it's yeah, it's smart. It's super smart. Okay. Now let's go back through this. Let's go over. We're going to do a little bit more rapid fire here on this live stream. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's jump into this. So every modern, cannabis brand or really at this point, any company, they need to have an in-house media team, or you need to learn how to do media, right? Like you need to self-teach, self-taught yourself. I self-taught myself how to use cameras, right? I mean, like I said, I was never in front of a camera ever growing up because I was driving, right? So yeah, I had to self-teach myself, right? This, like I said, so we either bring on a cameraman or bring on someone that understands how to create content, in a high quality manner, right? And it just takes time. But depending on the format, right, you want to get obviously especially if you're starting out bootstrapping, you want to get lowest cost, low cost, high quality, obviously. And then eventually you're going to be able to build your team, right? Build on, add more pieces to the puzzle, get your cameraman, more tools or whatever it may be, right? But at the end of the day, like media is a tool here. Media can be leveraged in many different ways, right? Leverage media into networking opportunities, right? If you want to meet someone, if you want to potentially, meet someone to potentially maybe, who knows, maybe do a strategic partnership in the future with, use media, right? Media is a great tool, right? I was able to meet with, I was able to interview Burner through media, right? And I got to ask him, a couple different, pieces, ask him for some advice on different things with brands that I'm involved with, right? Or same thing with Ivan, same thing with, David from Pervert Art, same thing from, all the people I've covered, right? So leverage media into networking, leverage media into learning, right? Just in general learning, and just leverage media into other opportunities, and also leverage media into obviously gaining more of a following, or whatever, maybe a strategic partnership, right?